thinking of moving to Celina, Texas, and homes in Legacy Hills are on your radar, there's one thing you need to understand before you buy here. Legacy Hills could end up being the best decision and best neighborhood for you in Celina, Texas, or it could end up being a community that's completely wrong for your lifestyle and you hate it. And the real reason has nothing to do with the homes here in this neighborhood. It has everything to do with what living here will look like in the next year, next 5 years, the next 10 years. In this video, I'm gonna break down everything you need to know about Celina living, but also specifically Legacy Hills. We're going to talk about the home builders, the home prices, the amenities, HOAs, commute, schooling, everything that really impacts your day-to-day life, what people love, what they hate, who should buy here, and who should find another community. Because if you're relocating from California, Washington, New Jersey, Nevada, or honestly anywhere else in the country, the last thing you want to do is spend several $100,000 only to realize you chose the wrong neighborhood. So let's get right into it. So when you first hear about Legacy Hills, you probably assume it's another average North Texas neighborhood, and it's really not. Legacy Hills is being built as a massive master planned community, and it's the biggest community in North Texas right now. It's going to be over 3,200 acres, and depending how far you are in on your North Texas research, you may have heard of the Fields of Frisco, and while that is the talk of North Texas, it's 2,500 acres. So this one is 700 acres bigger. And the reason I tell you that is there's a huge difference between buying into a small planned neighborhood and a huge master planned community like Legacy Hills. When completed, which is going to take decades to build out, which is important to know and we'll go over later in this video, Legacy Hills is going to include thousands of homes, extensive trails, parks, sports facilities, commercial development, plenty of entertainment options, and a future lifestyle that looks very, very different than what it looks like today. First thing you need to understand if you're relocating here is when you buy into this community, you're not buying into what it looks like today, but what future life is going to look like here. And that may be incredibly exciting for you, or it may be a complete deal breaker, and we're going to talk over both of those and why this may or may not be a great neighborhood for you depending which side of the aisle you fall on. Now, before we talk about the homes themselves, you need to understand why so many people are moving to Celina, because that's really the story here. You know, 5, especially 10 years ago, people from outside of North Texas and even inside of North Texas, when they heard of Celina, didn't really know where it was or what it is, and now it's one of the hottest relocation cities and growing, booming cities in North Texas. And there's a reason, actually several. The first one is going to be affordability, especially compared to cities that aren't even that far. Like, it's much more affordable than Prosper, that's 10 to 20 minutes away. Frisco, that's 30 to 45 minutes away. You get so much more home for your money, and I've got several home tours up on my channel to show you. They have some of the best options I've seen under 400,000, so be sure to check those out. And the second reason is growth, which is an upside and also a downside. I'll explain here in just a second. But you're looking at a city that it's still being developed and growing into what it will become, which a lot of people like getting to know they get in cheaper and the conveniences are coming to them. But a lot of people really don't want to wait, and that's kind of the downside is you don't have a Target or Starbucks 5 minutes down the road. You kind of have to be a little bit more strategic on when you do your errands and shopping and everything. That way you don't have to make 2 trips into town, if you will. And the third reason is lifestyle. A lot of people are moving further north to get away from the congestion of Dallas, Plano, McKinney, Frisco. They want a little bit slower pace of life, bigger lots, less people, newer homes, and they may be moving for better schools. And that's really exactly what Celina has become known for, is affordability, space, and the lifestyle. Okay, let's talk about the location of Legacy Hills, because location matters a lot, especially a lot of people just come in and look at the house and don't really realize where it is, because this is on the north end of Celina. This isn't on the Celina-Prosper border, so if you commute to Dallas, it may be really ugly for you. So I'd always encourage you, when you come here, make sure you know general area you may be working, what your hobbies are, how often you travel, how important your shopping, restaurants, and entertainment needs are super close to you, because really finding a home is more of a process of elimination rather than selection. When we eliminate all the factors, the right community and home is going to stand out pretty quickly. And that's what's really important to know about Legacy Hills. It does place you in Celina, but you're on the further north end of Celina, which is growing super rapidly, but it feels so much different than like a Frisco or Prosper or McKinney. You aren't living in the middle of a fully built out urban entertainment city. You're living in a community that is actively expanding every day. And you may love that, or you may realize, I want to live right by everything already. Okay, let's get into what you probably want to really know. What do the homes look like? What can I get in Legacy Hills home-wise? Okay, so current inventory right now, homes are kind of in the 300s all the way up to 600. The median in here is around 400,000. And you get a lot of home for that. I just toured a couple. One started at 369,000 and it was 2,100 square feet, either 3 or 4 beds, I can't remember. Had a super awesome upstairs entertainment area. Also had a super open floor plan downstairs. And the other one started at 386,000, 4 bed, 2.5 bath, super open concept, entertaining, downstairs, open living room. And it felt way bigger than 2,500. I was legitimately super impressed with how they utilized the space in that home and that it was under 400,000. Now, what I like is the homes in this community have a lot of variety. You have your smaller single family homes that, great starter home, your 3 bed, 2 bath, entry level price point, but you also have up to 600,000, which could be a move up for you. You need a little bit more room, have several kids, or just love to entertain and need the space. You have some of those 4 or 5 bedroom, multi-generational layouts that also have a flexible office space. So if you work from home, this is a great option for you. And the homes, as far as square footage wise, you have 1,300 all the way up to over 4,000. So that's what I mean. You have your great entry level first home at 1,300 square feet, 3 bed, 2 bath, all the way up to your over 4,000 square feet, 5, 6 bedroom with an office, media room, whatever you could possibly want. And that's a huge range, which means you're gonna be able to live here as a first-time buyer or move up. So it has both options for you. Now, if you're really looking for your ultra luxury, $800,000-$900,000 and up, you're gonna have to go to maybe like Light Farms, some of the other Celina neighborhoods, which if you do have any questions about this neighborhood or other Celina neighborhoods, be sure to reach out to me. My team and I would love to help you make a smooth move. We've helped dozens of other families make the move here to North Texas, find a great community for them. So be sure to reach out. All my contact info is below. But let's talk about if new construction is the right choice for you. Now, Legacy Hills is pretty much all new construction. And you might be thinking new construction automatically means better, and it's not always the case. Now, let me preface this with, I did buy a new construction home. It's not always the right choice for everyone depending on your plans, timeline, and long-term goals. So let's go over that. Now, of course, you're gonna have brand new home, warranties, super energy efficient, modern floor plans, your smart home features, and generally minimal maintenance. I haven't had to do anything but spray for bugs. But the cons are you're gonna have construction everywhere, dealing with a lot of loud noises, concrete trucks, nail guns, nails in your tires, smaller trees, your less mature landscaping, and the builder contracts are going to heavily favor the builder. It's why I always tell people, don't go walk the model unless you have some form of representation by a realtor. Like I said, whether you use me or not, I would love to help you. Go with an agent that is well experienced. Don't go with someone that has no idea what they're doing, of course, but go with someone that's sold multiple new construction homes and knows what to look out for. The other con is going to be, especially buying into such a huge development like Legacy Hills, is if you plan to move in 3 to 5 years, I'd probably go to a new construction neighborhood that's closer to being done, because they're going to be building in here for decades. And those same builder incentives that drew you in, interest rate incentive, closing costs covered, fridge, washer, dryer, blinds, whatever they're offering, you're going to be competing against when you go to sell your home. Now, let's talk about the biggest surprise I see for out-of-state buyers, and that's going to be your property taxes. Now, I don't know where you're moving from, but Texas does have some of the highest property taxes, which catches a lot of people off guard at the closing table when they see I'm paying how much, which I want to avoid for you. I want you to know that up front. Most property taxes here in North Texas range from the high 1% all the way, kind of low 2s is about average, but I have seen them as high as 3.1%. if the neighborhood is in a MUD or PID, which if you're unfamiliar with a MUD or PID, they're extra tax assessments for your MUD is like your utilities to help fund the infrastructure. Same thing with a PID, that's your public improvement district. If you have questions about that, reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to explain what they are, pros and cons, and how to avoid them. Obviously, no one likes extra taxes, but I need to talk about it because it is super important to understand. Now, of course, the plus is Texas does not have state income tax, which depending on your income, could actually save you money, or you may end up netting less money in your pocket. Now, we're gonna get into the tax rate, MUD and PID here in just a second, but let's talk about your HOA cost here in Legacy Hills, because most people ask, is it an HOA? I would say most neighborhoods, especially new construction neighborhoods, I would say over 95% are in an HOA. So they're super tricky to get away from. You definitely can. And honestly, most people expect that here. The question is not, do I have to pay an HOA? Probably yes. But the question is going to be, what do I get in return for that cost? And is it justifiable? Because some HOA here are over $200 a month. But don't worry, Legacy Hills is not one of those neighborhoods. It's around $900 a year, depending on the builder and section you're in. Like I said, it's a 3,200 acre development. So you're gonna have different HOA fees depending what part of that development you're in. Now, also with other costs, like I said, we get into MUD and PID later. Certain sections are in neither. Certain sections are just in a MUD and certain sections are just in a PID. So I can't really make a blanket statement to fully enclose and encapsulate Legacy Hills as far as that. That's gonna have to be something that we dive into one-on-one and kind of break down pros, cons, areas if you wanna avoid it. So reach out to me if you really, really like this neighborhood. We can go over that. So let's talk about arguably the biggest reason families choose Celina, and that's gonna be the schools. Now, if you're moving here with kids, of course, this is probably the most important section, maybe outside of your commute route, but many buyers specifically target Celina because of the reputation of the school district and the smaller town feel. It's a little more integrated and a community-focused environment. And a community-focused environment, here's the important thing, don't just go to, texasschools.gov. I joined a Facebook group, actually ask the parents. I have several families that are in these school districts. I'm sure they'd be more than happy to connect with you and let you know their honest opinions and first-person experience. Because Celina is a great growing school district, and really the big advantage is one, it's smaller, it's newer. So if your kid doesn't thrive as much in big communities, they may like that little bit smaller atmosphere. Of course, you're getting the newest technology, newest classrooms, newest schools as it does continue to grow. While it doesn't have the track record like Prosper or Frisco do, it's still a great school district. Of course, go do the research yourself. Don't just take it from me, but a ton of families really, really love Celina ISD. Let's talk about what your daily life is actually going to look like here in Celina day to day, because it's different than Dallas, different than Frisco, different than Prosper. Here you're gonna get more space and a lot less congestion on your day-to-day drive. So a lot more community events, especially at the square in downtown Celina. They have Cajun Fest, Christmas on the Square, several other events, a lot of good shopping and dining down there too. You definitely need to check out when you come into town to visit. A lot of family activities as well. And like I said, those local businesses, not just on the square, but just in Celina as a whole. And like I said, it's a lot slower pace of life, which a ton of people really love that about Celina. Now, before we get into the downsides, let's touch on the amenities of Legacy Hills. Of course, it's so big. You're gonna have access to these, but it may be different on your section as to what exactly each one has. But overall, you do have your own golf course in there. You have an 18-hole golf course, which is pretty cool. I'll overlay some drone footage of that. You've got trails, parks, playgrounds, recreational and sports facilities. So for $900 a year, you get a pretty good amount of amenities. But the downside is, with it being new constructions, some of those aren't completed. So that's something else to weigh out. If you want a community that's fully move-in ready, you don't necessarily need to go to a community that's completely done. You need to go to one that's a little bit further along. Okay, let's talk about the downsides, right? I've touched on some. Amenities aren't done, construction, noise, nails and tires. But the growth and traffic, it's gonna continue to grow. It's gonna suck while they're expanding the roadways, making things one-ways, have a, sign holder out there with a stop and slow sign outside your neighborhood, right? Things like that very well could happen. We're gonna have road projects, temporary inconveniences, the ongoing developments, noise, dust. I can't tell you, my street's almost completed, but after it rained, right, they had the erosion controls, but when it rains really hard, it's all in the street. They wait for it to dry. They get a street sweeper. There's dust on everything. Dust on your car, front door, house, brick. It's crazy. Not that that should be a deal breaker. It's not as bad as I'm making it sound, but those are very real things you're going to have to deal with. And if you move into Legacy Hills today, you're entering a community that's actively evolving and growing, and it's just part of it. Now, if you're a buyer, you may love being early, getting in at a cheaper price, getting to see the neighborhood grow and develop, or you may rather buy something that's fully completed and ready to move in and enjoy all the amenities, not have to deal with construction dust and noise and nails, and neither approach is wrong. So no matter which side you're on, let me know. I'd be curious. Comment below which one you prefer. But let's compare it to some of the other top Celina neighborhoods I have families reach out to me about. Now, if you've heard of Light Farms, this one is almost done with all their new construction. You're already seeing some resales. Light Farms, much more mature, established, built out, and overall has a lot more luxury feel. But Legacy Hills isn't done enough for me to really know, is that how it is, or is that because Legacy Hills isn't done? Now, I think that Light Farms is going to have that more luxury feel just because there's bigger and more expensive homes. You'll have homes up to about $2 million there, but they do start at around $500,000. So if you don't like Legacy Hills and you're at the upper end of that, $500,000 to $600,000 range, Light Farms would be a great one to check out. Legacy Hills is going to feel newer, less built out, has a lot more growth. If you want that established feel, and Light Farms is right off the Dallas North Tollway, so if you commute to Dallas, Light Farms may have a little bit of an upper hand. You may lean towards Light Farms, but if you want to plan on the future growth, Legacy Hills is going to be one you want to check out. Now, Mustang Lakes is going to be another one I'm sure you've heard of, and these two are completely different buyer pools. Mustang Lakes is going to attract a lot more high-end luxury buyers. It's just more expensive. The HOA is very expensive there, but you do get some pretty good amenities. I've got a video on Mustang Lakes. I'll link in whatever corner it pops up in. So neither is better. It's just what fit are you? Are you, you just want to get in your first home, have a manageable payment, start out, family life here in North Texas, or a slight move up buyer, or do you want ultra modern luxury? It's where Mustang Lakes is going to be better for you. The most often asked question I get is, well, how does it compare to Frisco? Frisco is kind of the perfect city everyone wants to move into, but a lot of people, it's expensive. Frisco is expensive to move into, so a lot of times they want to live as close to Frisco as they can without having those Frisco prices. Now, Frisco is known as the 15-minute city, so you're gonna have all your shopping, dining, entertainment, restaurant needs, pretty much whatever you need within 15 minutes of your home. While Legacy Hills, you may have to drive a minimum of 15 minutes to get wherever you need to go. Kind of joking, kind of not on that, but it has a lot more growth. You're gonna drive a little bit more. It's further out from everything, but you're gonna have less congestion and you're gonna get way more house for the money. For example, that 2,500 square foot home I was telling you about, that's $386,000 in Legacy Hills, toward a similar home in Fields of Frisco. This is in East Village. It was about $700,000. So almost double. So if you're trying to narrow it down between whether it's another Celina community or another North Texas city or suburb, reach out to me. Like I said, don't be afraid, whether you're 9 days or 9 months out, don't be afraid to reach out. Don't feel like it's too early. I'm here to help no matter what stage. If you're like, hey, Jake, we'll be there next week, or hey, we don't even know if we're gonna make the move. We just wanna know more about these communities so we can make an educated decision. Happy to hop on a phone call or Zoom call with you. Just reach out to me, call, text, email, or schedule a Zoom call. Now let's talk about who I see this is perfect and who should probably live here. Top of the list, remote workers. If you work remotely, don't have to drive to Dallas, this is great for you. Dallas is going to be over an hour. Frisco is pushing 45 minutes to an hour from Legacy Hills. It's also great for families, relocation buyers, if you want a newer home, or if you just want more space for less money. This is going to be a great community for you. And as long as you understand that you're not going to have everything you need right down the road, and you have that expectation when you go to buy, you're going to be fine. Now, let's be honest, not everyone should buy here. Not everyone should buy in every neighborhood. That's why they make different neighborhoods, is it appeals to different people. If you have a long commute, don't buy here. You're not going to enjoy it. I would find somewhere closer, unless you're okay with the long commute. Now, if you want mature trees and dislike construction, again, not going to be for you. The trees are going to be about that big around. That may be like twice the size of what they are. I'm looking at my little tree. And if you prefer just more established, having everything at your fingertips, you're going to be happier moving elsewhere in North Texas. It may still be Celina, it just is going to be a different neighborhood. Now, my personal opinion, if I'm relocating from another state, I would definitely have Legacy Hills on my list. If I'm in that $300,000 to $650,000 range, and I want more space, want more home from the money, not because it's perfect, but it really offers a lot that other communities don't, and you have a lot of growth opportunity here. You're going to see all the conveniences coming to you without you paying that sticker tag for them already being there like you would in Frisco. Now, I also, if I could afford, the 600,000 plus, I would probably prefer to be a little bit closer to work if I worked in Dallas. I would not choose Legacy Hills unless you're okay with the drive. If I would get as close to work as possible. I made the move further north, and of course, I don't have an office, right? I work wherever you want to go see homes here in North Texas. So I drive a lot. I've driven 35,000 miles this year. If I could move closer, I would, but I'm in this house. I love it. It's a great home. I don't mind it. I just know that my vehicle is depreciating like a rock with those miles. So part of those miles are, I love to fish. If you like to fish, we will get along. We will go fishing when you're here in town. But some of those are driving to the lakes. So not all of those are real estate miles, but I would definitely buy my time back if I could. If that meant paying a little bit more from a home, but driving 2, 3, 4, 5 hours less a week, I would strongly consider that. So let me know. Either comment, reach out to me. Is Legacy Hills right for you? It might be, it might not be. But now you kind of know everything about the neighborhood, the good, the bad, the ugly. If it may not be a good fit, why or why not, and the trade-offs. So if you are considering relocating, whether you said, I love Legacy Hills or I hate Legacy Hills, what other communities should I look at? Reach out to me. We'd love to help you make a smooth move. Like I said, no matter your timeline, if you're 9 days, 9 months, 9 years out, whatever it is, I work in any price point here in DFW. So reach out to me. I'd love to help you make the smooth move. All my contact info is pinned below in the comments. Call, text, email, schedule a Zoom, and be sure to subscribe. I post at least 3 videos a week showing you pros and cons of neighborhoods, neighborhood overviews, and what the homes actually look like in North Texas. A lot of super valuable information there for you. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss that, and I hope to see you in Texas soon.